You might not feel it yet, but there's a quiet drain happening in your body, especially if you're over 60. Every year, bone mass slowly slips away. It doesn't make a sound. It doesn't scream like a pulled muscle or throb like a sore joint. But that slow, silent loss is reshaping your strength, your posture, and your ability to stay independent. And it all starts with something that seems harmless, your everyday choices. You see, your bones aren't just lifeless scaffolding. They're living tissue, constantly being broken down and rebuilt. But as you age, the rebuilding slows down while the breakdown speeds up. The result? Brittle bones, greater risk of fractures, and the kind of hip break that turns into a hospital stay and often, a steep decline in quality of life. Now, let's talk about what's silently speeding that process along. First, sodium. Yes, your good old friend salt. Excessive sodium can cause your body to excrete more calcium through urine. That's right, too many salty snacks and even certain canned soups are leaching calcium right out of your system. It's not about cutting all salt, but being mindful. A high-sodium diet acts like a bone burglar sneaking away with the very mineral that keeps your frame strong. Next comes sugar. Not just desserts, but hidden sugars in yogurt, sauces, and even healthy cereals. Sugar triggers inflammation, and long-term inflammation interferes with bone remodeling. Think of it like this: instead of fixing the cracks, your body's construction crew is too busy putting out fires. Then there's caffeine. A morning coffee or two? Totally fine. But if you're sipping on cup number 4 by early afternoon, you might be overdoing it. Too much caffeine can interfere with calcium absorption, especially if you're not getting enough calcium to begin with. Even a sedentary lifestyle chips away at bone strength. Without regular movement, especially weight-bearing activities like walking or light resistance training, your bones aren't getting the signals they need to stay dense and healthy. No signal, no support. It's like a muscle that shrinks when not used. Your bones respond the same way. And perhaps most surprising of all, stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol, and cortisol breaks down bone. When your brain is in a state of long-term worry or anxiety, your skeleton takes a hit too. So yes, protecting your bones also means protecting your peace of mind. You may be wondering, how did I not know this was happening? That's the sneaky thing about bone loss. It's invisible until it's not. A stumble on a slippery kitchen tile. A misstep on the stairs. And suddenly, you're in a cast or worse, in surgery. But here's the hopeful part. While you can't rewind time, you can slow this process. Even reverse it in some ways. The key is awareness. The key is small, consistent changes starting with what you eat, what you move, and how you care for your internal environment. So now that we've identified the culprits that weaken your bones, you might be asking, what's missing in your daily nutrition? What's not on your plate that should be? That's exactly what we'll look at next. You remember how we talked about those everyday bone drainers: salt, sugar, stress, and the rest? Well, now it's time to talk about what's missing. Because it's not just what's sneaking calcium out of your system that matters, it's also what you're not giving your bones enough of in the first place. Let's start with calcium. Obvious? Sure. But surprisingly, many adults over 60 still fall short. It's not just about milk. In fact, many older adults drink less milk due to lactose intolerance or digestive discomfort. And while there are other calcium-rich foods like leafy greens, almonds, and fortified plant milks, they're not always part of a regular daily menu. That's a problem, because without a consistent source of calcium, your body will do the only thing it knows how to do: pull it from your bones. Then there's vitamin D. Think of vitamin D as calcium's best friend. It helps your body absorb calcium more effectively, shuttling it into your bloodstream and ultimately into your bones. But here's the kicker: vitamin D deficiency is rampant among seniors. Why? Less time in the sun, thinning skin that produces less D from sunlight, and diets that rarely include D-rich foods like salmon or egg yolks. Without this vitamin, even a calcium-rich diet can fall flat. Now let's talk about magnesium. You don't hear about this one as often, but it plays a big role in converting vitamin D into its active form. Plus, magnesium contributes directly to bone structure. It's like a behind-the-scenes worker keeping everything functioning smoothly. Without enough magnesium, the calcium you do eat might not end up where you wanted your bones. But here's one that might surprise you: protein. For decades, there was a myth floating around that too much protein could actually leach calcium from the bones. That's been largely debunked. In fact, research shows that seniors need more protein, not less, to maintain bone and muscle strength. Why? Because bones aren't just made of minerals, they contain collagen, which is a protein. Without enough dietary protein, you can't build or repair that foundation. It's like trying to patch a wall without any bricks. Also, don't forget vitamin K2. This one is tricky. Most people don't even know it exists, but it works as the traffic cop, making sure calcium goes into your bones instead of ending up in your arteries. Without enough K2, you might increase your calcium intake, but send it to all the wrong places. Foods like natto, hard cheeses, and some fermented veggies can help, but again, they're not common staples for most folks over 60. So you've got a handful of vital nutrients: calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, protein, and vitamin K2. And yet, the average daily diet of a senior often misses one or more of them entirely. That creates what I call a nutrient gap. A subtle but powerful deficit that makes your body more vulnerable to bone thinning even if you're doing everything else right. This is where intentional eating comes into play. Instead of hoping your meals accidentally cover all your bases, you start designing them, building meals and snacks around foods that deliver multiple nutrients in one go. This isn't about supplements alone. It's about real food, delicious, natural options that do double or triple duty. And here's where things start getting exciting. Because in the next section, we're going to talk about a single snack that brings a bunch of these bone-supporting nutrients together into one simple, satisfying daily habit. No fancy prep, no complicated recipes, just one reliable ally you can keep in your kitchen and in your life, starting today. So now we've arrived at the part you've been waiting for: the snack. The one food that quietly checks all the boxes for stronger bones, and maybe a few more than you'd expect. Ready? Plain, unsalted almonds. Not almond milk. Not almond-flavored protein bars. Just good old-fashioned raw almonds, nature's perfectly packaged bone booster. Let's break down why. First off, almonds are packed with calcium. Just a small handful, about 23 almonds or 1 ounce, delivers around 75 to 80 milligrams of calcium. That might not sound like much, but it's meaningful, especially when combined with the other nutrients they offer. Next comes magnesium. Remember how we talked about magnesium being that behind-the-scenes worker your bones rely on? Almonds happen to be one of the best natural sources. That same ounce of almonds provides roughly 76 to 80 milligrams of magnesium, nearly 20% of your recommended daily intake. And unlike supplements, the magnesium in almonds comes in a form your body easily absorbs. But that's not all. Almonds are also a protein powerhouse. About 6 grams of high-quality plant-based protein per serving. And remember what we said earlier? Bones aren't just minerals, they're also made of collagen, and collagen needs protein. Without adequate protein, your bones are like a construction site missing its builders. And here's the kicker. Almonds also contain healthy fats, including omega-6 and a bit of omega-3. These fats help reduce inflammation, which is often a hidden culprit in bone degeneration. Less inflammation means your bones can remodel more effectively and heal faster after minor stress or strain. Still with me? Because there's more. Almonds are also rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant. While it's not often talked about in bone health circles, oxidative stress, just like inflammation, can weaken your bones over time. Vitamin E acts like a little bodyguard, protecting your cells and your skeleton from this kind of silent sabotage. Plus, almonds provide phosphorus, another essential mineral for bone structure, especially important when calcium intake is already high. When phosphorus and calcium are in balance, your bones get the full structural support they need to stay dense and durable. But wait, don't almonds also have oxalates, which can block calcium absorption? Great question. They do, but here's the deal. When eaten in moderation, the benefits far outweigh the downsides. You're not eating cups of almonds. You're eating a small handful, just enough to deliver nutrients without flooding your system with oxalates. And if your overall diet includes calcium from a variety of sources, especially low oxalate ones like broccoli or dairy, you're perfectly fine. Now, let's not pretend this one snack is magic. You still need vitamin D, weight-bearing exercise, and other supportive habits. But if you're looking for a dependable, low-effort food to support bone health every single day, almonds are it. They're portable, they don't spoil quickly, they pair well with both sweet and savory dishes, and they don't require any prep. And for those of you who have dental issues or trouble chewing, don't worry. You can try almond butter, unsweetened, of course, almond flour in your baking, or even finely chopped almonds sprinkled over yogurt or oatmeal. See the beauty in this? It's simple. One snack. A handful. Every day. That's all it takes to start tipping the balance in your bones' favor. So now that you know the hero of the story, let's talk about how to make it a lasting habit, not a one-time thing you try and forget. Because consistency, not perfection, is what changes the game. Let's talk about something that matters just as much as what you eat, when and how you eat it. Because knowing almonds are good for your bones is one thing. Making them a daily habit that sticks? That's where real change happens. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle. You don't need to set reminders on your phone or force yourself into a rigid schedule. What you need is rhythm, an easy groove that slips into your routine without friction. So, when's the best time to enjoy almonds? Mid-morning or mid-afternoon? That's the golden window. Why? Because that's when most people experience an energy dip and reach for something quick. Unfortunately, those quick fixes are often sugary or salty snacks that drain your bones rather than feed them. A small handful of almonds, just 20 to 25, can satisfy hunger, stabilize blood sugar, and quietly deliver the nutrients your skeleton craves. Here's a little trick. Keep almonds visible. Put them in a small jar on your kitchen counter. Toss a snack-sized bag in your purse, glove box, or bedside drawer. Visibility equals consistency. If you see them, you'll eat them. Now, let's talk pairing. Alone, almonds are great. But combined with the right partners? Even better. Want a snack that also supports vitamin D and calcium absorption? Pair your almonds with a slice of cheese or a few dollops of Greek yogurt. Craving something sweeter? Mix almonds with a few dried figs or prunes, both excellent for bone density. You're not just snacking, you're building bone strength, bite by bite. For those managing weight or blood sugar, don't worry. Almonds have a low glycemic index and promote satiety. In fact, studies show that people who regularly eat almonds tend to consume fewer calories overall. Why? Because they're satisfying without spiking insulin or triggering cravings later. Still, portion control matters. Even though almonds are nutrient-dense, they're also calorie-dense. The goal is balance. That's why we say, a handful, not a bowl. If you want to be precise, measure out 28 grams, about 1 ounce, and pre-pack a few snack bags for the week. Easy, no-brainer nutrition. Worried about dental issues? Here's a smooth solution: unsweetened almond butter. Spread it on whole grain toast, slice up an apple and dip it, or stir it into your morning oatmeal. Same benefits. Same nutrients. Just a gentler texture. And here's a small bonus for the reluctant almond eaters out there. Roasting them lightly can bring out a warmer, nuttier flavor. No added oil or salt, just pop them in the oven at 160 degrees Celsius, 325 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let them cool, and boom, crunchy, satisfying, and better than most chips. Now let's pause for a second. You might be thinking, this all sounds good, but will I really stick with it? That's fair. Habits don't always click overnight. But here's the thing. When a habit is small, pleasurable, and meaningful, it sticks. And almonds check all three boxes. They're not a chore. They don't require prep. And now, you know they're doing more than keeping you full, they're helping you stand tall, literally. So ask yourself this. What's one moment in your day you could replace a mindless snack with a mindful handful of almonds? That one change, done consistently, might just be the quiet hero your bones have been waiting for. By now, you've probably realized that almonds are doing way more than just helping your bones. That tiny handful? It's actually working overtime in your body, and it's time to look beyond the skeleton to see just how far the benefits go. Let's start with muscle support. As we age, we don't just lose bone mass, we lose muscle mass too. The fancy word for it is sarcopenia, and it's one of the leading causes of weakness, imbalance, and falls in seniors. Almonds, with their solid protein content and magnesium boost, help preserve lean muscle. Think of it this way. Bones give you structure, but muscles give you control. You need both to live actively and confidently. Now on to something a little deeper: heart health. You might not think of bones and the heart as being connected, but the nutrients that keep bones strong, like magnesium and healthy fats, also help maintain a healthy heart rhythm and lower blood pressure. Several studies have found that people who regularly consume almonds have lower LDL, bad cholesterol, and better markers of cardiovascular health. So while you're building up your bones, you're also protecting the engine that powers everything else. And what about brain health? Yep, almonds play a role here too. The vitamin E in almonds is known to protect brain cells from oxidative stress. Basically, it shields your memory and cognitive function from early decline. Emerging research suggests that people who eat almonds or similar nuts on a regular basis may have a lower risk of age-related cognitive decline. In simple terms, your bones stay strong, and your mind stays sharp. Then there's gut health, something that's finally getting the attention it deserves. Almonds are rich in fiber, and fiber isn't just about digestion. A healthy gut supports better nutrient absorption, like calcium and magnesium, lowers inflammation, and strengthens the immune system. Your gut and bones are in conversation more than you think. Feed the gut, and you feed your bones. And finally, there's something harder to quantify but just as important: confidence. When you start treating your body like it matters, fueling it with real food, building habits that support longevity, you start to feel different. You walk taller. You breathe deeper. You trust your legs when you step off the curb. That's not just nutrition. That's quality of life. So here we are. A single snack. A simple change. But look what it touches: bones, muscles, heart, brain, gut, and maybe even your sense of self. You might still be wondering, can something this small really make a difference? Let me answer with this. Big results often start with small changes. And the beauty of almonds is that they're doable. You don't need a prescription. You don't need a supplement aisle. You just need a few crunchy bites and the willingness to be consistent. Remember what we said earlier? Consistency, not perfection, is what changes the game. And if you've made it this far in the story, you're already in the game. You're paying attention. You're taking steps. And your body is going to thank you for it. So don't underestimate this tiny nut. It might be small, but it's mighty. And for you right now, in this stage of life, it could be exactly what your bones and your future have been waiting for. Let's slow things down for a moment. You've taken in a lot. The truth about bone loss. The missing nutrients that quietly accelerate aging. The simple snack almonds that packs calcium, magnesium, protein, and healthy fats all in one handful. And the ripple effect it creates: stronger muscles, better heart rhythms, sharper thinking, and a calmer, more balanced gut. You don't need a complete lifestyle overhaul. You don't need to flip your diet upside down. All you need is one new habit. One small, consistent act of care. A handful of almonds a day. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up for your body gently, but persistently. Let each bite be a reminder: you are still building. Still strengthening. still choosing vitality, one day at a time. And if this message stays with you, let it be this: it's never too late to nourish yourself. Your bones, your heart, your mind, they're listening. And they're ready for the care they deserve.